Hello, literature lovers. Today, as you can see, I'm discussing Nikolai Gogol. He is a Russian. He was a Russian dramatist of Ukrainian origin. That's what really counts. Although Gogol was considered by his contemporaries to be one of the prominent figures of natural school of Russian literary realism, later critics have found in his work a fundamentally romantic sensibility with strains of surrealism and grotesque. His early works, such as Evenings on a Farm near Dilkarka, were influenced by his Ukrainian upbringing, Ukrainian culture, and folklore. His later writing satirized political corruption in the Russian Empire. The novel Taras Bulba and the play Marriage, along with short stories Diary of a Madman, the tale of how Ivan Ivanovich quarreled with Ivan Nikiforovich, the portrait and the carriage are also among his best known works. In 1831, Gogol brought out the first volume of his Ukrainian stories, Evenings on a Farm near Dikanka, which met the immediate success. He followed it in 1832 with a second volume, entitled Mirgorod, as well as by two volumes of miscellaneous prose entitled Arabesque. At this time, Russian editors, critics such as Nikolai Polovov and Nikolai Nadezdin saw in Gogol the emergence of Ukrainian rather than Russian writer, using his works to illustrate supposed differences between Russian and Ukrainian national characters. The themes and style of these early prose works of Gogol, as well as his later drama, were similar to the work of Ukrainian writers and dramatists who were his contemporaries and friends, including Harahor and Vasily. However, Gogol's satire is much more sophisticated and unconventional. At this time, Gogol developed a passion for Ukrainian history and tried to obtain an appointment to the history department at Kiev University. Despite the support of Pedovkin and Sergei, the Russian Minister of Education, his appointment was blocked by Kevin, bureaucrat, on grounds that Gogol was unqualified. His fictional story, Taras Bulba, is based on the history of Ukrainian chorus, was the result of this phase in his interests. During this time, he also developed a close and lifelong friendship with another Ukrainian, the historian and naturalist, Mikhailo. In 1834, Gogol was made a professor of medieval history at the University of St. Petersburg. He turned in a performance ludicrous enough to warrant satiric treatment in one of his own stories. After an introductory lecture made up of brilliant generations, which the historian had prudently prepared and memorized, he gave up all prudence of erudition and teaching, missed 2 lectures out of 3, and when he did appear, murmured unintelligibly through his teeth. At the final examination, he sat in utter silence, with a black handkerchief wrapped around his head. simulating a toothpick, while another professor interrogated the students. This academic venture proved a failure and he resigned his chair in 1835. Talking about his legacies, Gogol has been featured many times at Russian and Soviet postage stamps. He is also when represented on stamps worldwide. The pictures are quite expressive here. Several commemorative coins have been issued from Russia and USSR. In fact, in 2009, the National Bank of Ukraine issued a commemorative coin dedicated to Gogol. Street has been named after Gogol in various towns including Moscow, Sofia, Lepest, Odessa, and many more cities and towns of the world. Gogol is mentioned several times in Dostoevsky's Poor Folk and Crime and Punishment, as well as Chekhov's Seagull. More than 135 films have been based on Gogol's work, and the most recent can be The Girl in the White Coat. The main characters in Jhumpa Lahiri's 2009 novel The Namesake and its 2006 movie is named after Nikolai Gogol. Being his father, survives a train crash while clutching a copy of one of Gogol's books. An eponymous poem, Gogol, by the poet diplomat Abhay K. refers to some of the great works of Gogol, such as The Nose, Overcoat, Nevsky, Prospects, Dead Souls, and Government Inspector. The punk made Gogol Bordello take their name from Gogol. He serves as an ideological influence for the band because he smuggled Ukrainian culture into Russian society, which Gogol Bordello intends to do with Gypsy Eastern Europe music in the English speaking world. That's all for today. Thanks for being part of it.